Unless you openly speak about the things that are important to you, you will not connect with people that are like-minded. This is a big thing around mental health, but this can help you in many different aspects of your life as well, whether it's your career, your job, your fucking whatever you're working on, whatever it could be. If you don't speak about your problems, you're never going to be able to find the help that you're looking for. Hey, what is up? Happy Monday morning if you're listening to the podcast version of this, and a happy Monday evening if you're watching the YouTube version of this. Welcome to the Risen Fallen podcast. I am your host, Mark Hendrickson, and I hope that you are having a good day so far. If you are brand new to this podcast, what you can expect is open and authentic conversations about things like self-development, mental health, and if you're not feeling like you're moving in the right direction or where you want to be in life, having the confidence, feeling like you are getting one step closer every single day, maybe 75% closer every day, maybe 60% closer every day, maybe 50% closer every day, maybe 25% closer every single day, or maybe just 1% closer every single day, but just that gradual movement towards progress. And if you are not new to this show, then thank you very much for coming back and supporting the show, supporting the movement, supporting the journey, and supporting the idea of making yourself better every single day, and along the way, lifting others up as well. Without further ado, let's jump into what it is I want to talk about today. Happy Monday morning. I am going to take a sip of coffee right here, and if you got a sip of coffee or a sip of water or protein shake, some amino acids, anything in front of you, or maybe you don't have anything in front of you and you just want to take a breath with me, let's take a moment to get focused, to get in the mindset of development and making ourselves better. Cheers to that. I'm taking a sip of my coffee now. All right, so let's jump into it. I think this is going to be a short and sweet one. Sometimes I say it'll be short and sweet. I end up rambling for half an hour. Sometimes I say it'll be short and sweet and it ends up being 5-10 minutes, but that is very rare. So I'm going to try and keep this one a little bit shorter for you guys today. I just wanted to chat about building community and building a friend group around you, a group of people that is like-minded, that thinks the same way as you. If you've read any Napoleon Hill or Carnegie or anything like that, they talk about building masterminds, groups of people that are, focused on similar objectives, similar ideas, that care about the same things, that will help you get closer towards your goals and help you feel connected, help you feel less isolated, help you feel less alone in this world. And I wanted to talk about one of the tactics that will help get people around you that are like-minded and help you meet new people and help you connect with them on a deeper level. So, over the last couple of years, there's been a lot of controversial topics. There's been a lot of things that people are afraid to talk about. They feel like they might get canceled. They feel like people might get angry at them. They feel like they might be isolated. They feel like they might be the only ones that think this way. And I want to urge you right now to speak up about the things that are on your mind, to speak up about the things that interest you, to speak up about the things that challenge you, to speak up about the things that you feel like you might be the only one that thinks the way that you do. The reason, there's probably actually a couple of reasons that I'll think of as I record this, but the main reason I wanted to talk about that today is that if you don't speak about the types of things that are important to you, whether they be controversial or not, you will not be able to realize how many people are like-minded. The reason you won't be able to realize this is because they won't reach out to you and say, hey, I completely agree with you. And if they weren't able to speak up about that, you wouldn't be able to reach out to them. And they might be thinking the exact same way that you do and be holding out to speak out about the things that they find important or talk about them, or might be embarrassed to speak about, or might be scared to speak about, or whatever the reason is. But unless you openly speak about the things that are important to you, you will not connect with people that are like-minded. Also, the idea of feeling alone with your thoughts, the idea of feeling like you're the only one that speaks about those things, the more people hear those ideas, the more exposed they get to those ideas, you might be able to even influence other people and change their minds as well. Now, I want to go and branch off this a little bit and talk about my own personal experience. For a long time, I dealt with my own mental health and self-development journey, dealing with depression and anxiety, etc. I dealt with that in silence. I didn't really talk to anybody about these things other than medical professionals. And there was one time where I called my mom and talked to her about that. But other than that, I really never spoke about it to anyone whatsoever. Years ago, I made a post on Facebook basically saying like, hey, I just basically drove home bawling my eyes out. I was extremely depressed and anxious at the time, and I just wanted to basically have it was like a cry for help almost. But I basically just posted a short clip on Instagram or Facebook. I think it was Facebook, and I just said, hey, this is what just happened to me. This is my experience. If you feel similarly, you're not alone, and it is okay to not be okay. Something along that rhetoric. And the feedback I got from it mostly was in private messages, but there was other people that liked and commented, etc. And I realized how much of a pressing issue that this actually truly was, which motivated me to then start, I started like a volunteer initiative, and then I started a YouTube thing, and then I started this podcast. And since then, posting clips on social media, posting the podcasts, it's gained, I've gained so many different people that I never would have met, either in person or through social media, or started random conversations because maybe I wear my gear and then people say like, oh, what's that brand? And I can talk about it. There's been so many people that I've met because I was just outgoing, and forthcoming with what things interest me and what things, I ponder about, or the things that I read about, or the things that I think about, or the things that I think are important. And because I've been outspoken about that, it's aided me in connecting with people that think similarly, and that, it's helped connect me with other people and make me feel less alone. But also, it's helped me build a community around myself that supports me and helps me through tough times. And so I think that is I think that that's probably the most critical reason why you need to speak up about things that are important to you. Not only that, it can help you just make friends when you go into new environments. Maybe you get a new coworker. Maybe you hire somebody new. Maybe you get hired somewhere new and you just want to make new friends. You might be thinking, hey, maybe this person's going to think I'm weird if I talk about this thing all the time. But realistically, honestly, the only things I fucking talk about are the same things that I talk about on this podcast, because those are the things that are on my mind all the time. I talk about working out, I talk about reading, I talk about journaling, I talk about food, I talk about jiu-jitsu and sports. I talk about, really just those things. Those are really the only things I ever really talk about. And, this can help you make new friends, because there's so many people that are going to be interested in the things that you're interested in. Like, if you think about how many people there are in this world, 8 billion fucking people, or however many people there are in this world. Yeah, I just fact checked myself. It's over 8 billion people. It's 8 billion, 40 million, 8,040,635,154 roughly. There's a weird website. It tells you how many births there are today, births there are this year, deaths there are this year, deaths today, population growth today, population growth over the year, 32 million people population growth over this last year. Anyways, not important. If you think about how many people there are in this world, over 8 billion people there are in this world, and then think about how many things there are to be interested in. Probably not as many things as there are people. So chances are you're going to come across people that are interested in the same things that you're interested in, the same ideas, the same activities. They might think the same thoughts. You know, it doesn't even have to be something controversial. It doesn't have to be something that's polarizing. It doesn't have to be anything like current events that you have to talk about. It could be the things that you're just interested in about. You know, obviously, like I said, over the last couple years, there's definitely a lot of controversial things that seem to be dividing society, and a lot of people are, you know, a little bit more withdrawn from speaking about these things because they're afraid of judgment, they're afraid of angering people or making people upset or anything like that. And obviously, this same thing applies to that. You're not going to find like-minded people if you're not able to speak openly about the things that you're interested in. And you're also not going to be able to make a difference in the world either if you don't speak about these things. I think it's important to remain hopeful and optimistic about the future. And I think that being able to openly speak about the things that you're concerned about or think about is one of the best ways to start gaining traction and gaining momentum in the direction that you're wanting the world to go in. You're not going to be able to help motivate other people to speak up unless you speak up. You maybe get some negative feedback, but you're also going to get some positive feedback. And you're also going to get people saying, hey, thank you for speaking about this. This thing was on my mind. Or maybe you presented it in a new way, and I kind of agree with what you're saying. Or I agree with this, and this, but I disagree with this, that, and the other thing. And then maybe you're going to learn something. Nothing really bad can come from you speaking your mind and speaking about the things that concern you or interest you or anything like that, other than just more knowledge, more education, broadening your perspectives, broadening your horizons or anything like that. But like I said, it doesn't have to be anything controversial. It doesn't have to be anything that's divisive, whatever the word is. It can just be something you're interested in. It could be something as simple as, I don't know, crocheting or fucking sewing or playing piano or whatever it is. You're never gonna, you never know what kinds of things you can bond with random people with if you don't actually speak about these types of things. It could be your favorite band. It could be your favorite type of music. It could be anything. It's going to help you gain like-minded people around you. It's going to help you build community. It's going to help you build a group of friends that thinks similarly to you. It's going to help, you know, maybe even connect you to people that think the opposite things as you, and you'll be able to relate to them and empathize with them and sympathize with their point of views and their perspectives as well. So all in all, I think that if you just speak up about the things that are interesting to you or concerning to you, etc., it's going to be a better place. And in regards to mental health, you know, if you aren't actually, not even just in regards to mental health, this is a big thing around mental health, but this can help you in many different aspects of your life as well, whether it's your career, your job, your fucking whatever you're working on, whatever it could be. If you don't speak about your problems, you're never going to be able to find the help that you're looking for. You like literally the other day, I was at the gym and I'm just sitting there talking to this guy. I'm like, hey, how was that job interview you were telling me about the other day? And he's like, oh, it's good. I got this position, blah, 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 blah. Actually, I remember you saying, this is what he says to me. He goes, actually, I remember you saying that you have a podcast. I remember checking it out. He follows me on Instagram, so he's seen some clips, blah, blah, blah. He goes, part of my position is to help this guy with his marketing. So I'm starting, you know, his social media for him. And he actually was mentioning that he wants to start a podcast as well. And I'm like, bro, yeah, 100%. If I never told him that I had a podcast, if I never reached out to him, if I never showed him my Instagram, etc., and he never told me that he needs to start a podcast, we would never be able to help each other out. I don't know if that's a good example for what I'm talking about, but I think that in regards to mental health, there's a lot of things that we're embarrassed to talk about. There's a lot of things that we feel isolated around, experiences that we may have, traumatic experiences that may have happened to us, things like that. things that we're maybe embarrassed to talk about, ashamed to talk about, feel guilty talking about, feel like we're playing the victim card if we're talking about, etc. And I think that you're never going to be able to get the help that you need if you're not able to vocalize these types of issues with other people. And you're never going to be able to feel less alone if you don't vocalize these things so that people can relate back to you. You're never going to be able to help other people that are suffering in silence and be able to make your ideas relatable to them, make them feel less alone. And you're never going to be able to help out other people if you don't vocalize the things you went through and you share the solutions that you have as well. So I think that summarizes my ideas for this type of topic. I might have to speak about it a little bit more, but I'm excited to hear about you guys' opinions, your thoughts on this. Reach out to me if you have any questions, comments, concerns. If you have anything that you want me to answer or talk about on this show, this is your open invitation. Send me a little DM on Instagram at Risen Fallen. We'll talk about whatever you want to talk about. I will answer any questions that you guys may have on the show. But let me know what you think. If you're watching this on YouTube, drop it in the comment section below. If you're listening to the podcast version of this, make sure you rate it 5 stars. Leave a little review on Apple Podcast. Take a second right now to go and leave a little review on Apple Podcasts. I read every single one of them, and they mean the world to me. If you're watching this on YouTube, like, comment, and subscribe. That's pretty much it. We still have the Risen Fallen meetups in person. We have hikes. We have, we meet up for coffee. We do cool things in the winter time. We were going like public skating. We can do all types of cool things. If you're interested in joining that community and meeting up with people in the Vancouver area, then reach out to me on Instagram at Risen Fallen. And if you want to support the movement, you can grab yourself a t-shirt like this or one of the hoodies that we have as well at risenfallen.com. Other than that, I hope you guys have a good Monday. We are rocking and rolling in the beginning of this week. And remember to speak up about things that are important to you. I will check in with you on Thursday. Much love and peace out, you beautiful fucking human beings.